everyone, this is Skul, and welcome to Sourcecast 2.0, Episode 5, and you know what? No excuse at all. It's been almost 11 months now since the last episode came out, almost 11 months, and there's no excuse for letting Sourcecast rot for that long, but we're back! And this is going to be kind of a shorter episode than usual. I just want to assure everyone that we are still here, that Sourcecast isn't dead. We have a ton of stuff planned for Sourcecast's future. It's just that I guess everyone's been a little busy, especially me. I am mostly to blame for the lack of Sourcecast episodes. But, you know, we will be getting stuff underway again. Hopefully, after this, we'll start having it semi-normally again. I know we keep saying that over and over and over, but hey, you know, Sourcecast is here, and we are not going anywhere. So with that out of the way, let's start Sourcecast 2.0 Episode 5. Okay, so first off on the list is Sourcecast is actually looking for a rotation crew. By that, I mean, we have 3 people right now on the main staff. There's me, there's Juchan17, and there's Ancient Fairy Dragon. And frankly, the 3 of us are almost never online at the same time, which means we can never actually get together for an episode. I'm online a lot. Ancient isn't on that much, and Juchan, when she is online, can't stay on for very long. So, right now we're looking for a crew that can rotate through to help out the cast. So, if you think you've got what it takes to be a Sourcecaster, just either send an email to sourcecast@gmail.com or contact me personally, because I'm kind of in charge of this now. But hopefully we'll get a few people to help us out. And I really look forward to seeing who all's interested in helping out, because, to be frank, that's part of what makes Sourcecast so awesome, is the fact that so many people are willing to help out in any way they can. And if you don't think that you'd be very good as a host, we're always looking for people to help edit the show or contribute graphics and the such. So if you're interested in helping out Sourcecast at all, just send me a PM or an email, or email sourcecast@gmail.com, and we will get back to you as soon as possible. Another big thing that you might have seen is that maybe a month ago now, I posted that Sourcecast was going to do an interview with Robbie Wrist. Unfortunately, that is no longer the case. That fell through. But rest assured, I'm trying to either get him back into wanting to be on the show. He dropped out for reasons that I will not discuss. Or either trying to get him back to be interviewed. And he's always open to a text interview, so we could try that if all else fails. But in the meantime, I am trying to locate more actors or producers or people who have worked in animation, and trying to get them into being interviewed by Sourcecast. The biggest one is Lacey Chabert. I only contacted her agent a few days ago and got no response yet, but I'm sure it's because, you know, he's busy, because he is an agent for more than just her. I'm trying to contact her. I do have Jim Cummings in contact. He's just extremely busy, which is understandable, you know, because he's such a huge voice actor. Don Bluth, and I think that's about it for now. But if you have any suggestions of people you would love to see interviewed, as far as Animation Source members go, we're always looking to interview Animation Source members if they're willing. So if you have any suggestions, send it to the mailbag. You gotta say it with me. If you have suggestions, say it with me now. Send it to the mailbag. That's right. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's move on to Animation Source news. The first and foremost piece of news is that there are a new set of rules. And by new set of rules, I don't mean we added a rule here or there. I mean there is a completely new list of rules for everything. It's pretty much exhaustive. It doesn't include every single little thing, but it does have a lot of rules that you're probably going to want to read up before you do just about anything on the site anymore. We've got rules for the forums, for the general site, for the shoutbox, for art, for fanfics, for images, for articles. We've got brand new rules for just about everything. The biggest thing is characters. Guys, no sparkles. You probably knew that already, but please, no sparkles. No unrealistic characters, and by that, they can have a few unrealistic markings, that's fine, but if the character just would not fit within that particular movie's universe, don't bother. because it will get deactivated, and you probably will get a bunch of flame bait from people who think that it doesn't belong on the site. So just save yourself the trouble and don't make the character. If you have to make a character like that, fine, but put it on DeviantArt or for Affinity or something. Just don't put it on Animation Source. It really has no purpose on Animation Source, and to be honest, it probably drives a lot of people nuts. That aside, the new rules have been helping out the site quite a lot. They're a little stricter than before, but that's fine. For the most part, they have gotten positive reception, and to be honest, we've needed them for a long, long time. I'd say at least 2 years, and you know, when the site's only been around for about 10, that's a full fifth of the site's existence that we've needed new rules. Now they're here, and if you want to know, Hecate and Nico from the French side completely wrote the rules. Well, they translated them into English. The rules were written by the 5 French moderators, which are Hecate, Nico, Victor, Vlad, and Barrow, and then they were translated into English by Hecate and Nico. So if you feel like the rules were definitely what the site needed, go ahead and send them a private message to thank them. They really did a great job, and I find it amazing that they dropped everything they were doing just to help the English side out with stuff that we desperately needed. So, and yes, they literally did drop everything. Now, Nico told me that she was working on Tarzan Source on the French side, and when this came up that they were going to write new rules, she literally just halted where she was and started helping to write the rules. And that's very, very generous of them, and that's something that I think that we should really give a lot more appreciation for. So send them a thank you, and above everything else, please read those rules. And next up on the list, there are no new sources as of the last Sourcecast episode. However, there are several that are in the works. There's way too many for me to talk about, but the biggest ones I think are My Little Pony source, Ice Age source, and Beauty and the Beast source. Those are the 3 that are probably the closest to complete. So be on the lookout for those. They could become new sources at any time, and I really hope so. Because, you know, Beauty and the Beast is arguably one of the best animated films of all time, and it's great that it has its own source. My Little Pony, you know, the fandom is beginning to die down a little bit, but it's still pretty huge, and I know that it would attract a lot of people to come look at Animation Source. And really, Animation Source is about all kinds of animated films, not just the ones that people spend a lot of time on. Because if you come to Animation Source for a big film that everyone knows about, and then you happen upon a smaller film that you never knew about before, you look into it, you find out that you like it, then that's pretty much what Animation Source is all about. Exposing people to the smaller films that they probably didn't know about before, and helping to grow that fan base and hopefully grow one more person who appreciates the TV show or the movie that the source is based off of. So those are the biggest ones to look out for. The last piece of thing here on the Animation Source news that I want to discuss is, if you see drama, please report it and ignore it. And enough said. So moving on to animation, movie, and TV news. Right now the only animated film in theaters is Planes, the Cars spin-off. This isn't a Pixar film though. This is made by Disney Toon Studios, the animation studio that does direct-to-TV films, or direct-to-video films. I think one of their best well-known films is Bambi 2, but yeah, every now and then they make a film and it's put into theaters instead. It happened with the Tigger movie in 2000, and now it happened with Planes in 2013. So, honestly, it doesn't look like it's that good of a film. I think that it only has like a 20-odd% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which is horrible. But if you want to go and see it, if you're a diehard Cars fan, then go ahead and see it. And moving on to The Legend of Korra. Book 2, called Spirits, is coming out soon. Legend of Korra is a spin-off of The Legend of Aang, also called Avatar, The Last Airbender. It's a really awesome series, Avatar was. I haven't seen Legend of Korra yet, but I just saw Avatar, The Last Airbender this summer, and it was awesome, so I'm sure Legend of Korra can't be that different. I'm probably going to get a lot of flack for that. But anyway, Book 2, called Spirits, comes out this September on Nickelodeon, and the production company confirmed that this is going to be Book 2 of 4, so there will be another 2 seasons after this, which passes Avatar's 3 seasons, so that'll be something to look out for. The preview was shown I think like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it looked pretty cool, so if you're a fan of The Legend of Korra, that is for you. And if you're not, then watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, and then hopefully Legend of Korra isn't that bad. But again, I can't speak for everyone because I haven't seen Legend of Korra yet. And then for all you Pokemon fans, coming this October, right before the X and Y worldwide release, is an anime called Pokemon The Origin. It pretty much follows the adventures of Red, not Ash. There are 2 completely different characters. And his Pokemon journey, which is inspired from the original versions Red and Green, which were released as Red and Blue worldwide. The animation looks completely different from the normal anime. It looks like it's a bit grittier, darker colors. It definitely looks like it's not supposed to be anime at all. Or the main anime, anyway. Pokemon The Origin comes out October 2 in Japan. We'll probably get a dub of it. My guess is within a month or 2 after that premieres. So that's definitely something to look forward to. If you're a fan of the Pokemon games, but not the Pokemon anime, this is for you. So be on the lookout for that. You can go on YouTube, look up the trailer. It looks pretty darn awesome. And even if you don't like Pokemon, then definitely look up the trailer. It's something that you probably would appreciate. And the only upcoming animated film that'll be coming into theaters is Frozen, Disney's latest animated film. Last I checked, and admittedly I haven't checked in a while, Frozen it had only had a teaser trailer released, which didn't really give away any of the plot. It was just like a cute little trailer involving, I think, a squirrel and something, or a moose, or I don't know. Okay, I was totally not prepared for this, so don't listen to me. But anyway, Frozen is Disney's next animated film, and that comes out in November in the United States. So definitely go and look out for that, because the last animated film was Tangled, I think? No, Wreck-It Ralph last year, Winnie the Pooh in 2011. Okay, so Tangled was a little while ago, but you know Tangled, everyone loves Tangled. So if Tangled was that good, imagine how good Frozen will be. Hopefully we'll all enjoy it. It looks like it's a great film. It's based off of The Snow Queen, which, has been in production forever, but now it's finally coming out in November, a mere 2 months away? So, something to look forward to is Frozen. And since there's so little coming up, just Frozen, let's take a look at some recent films. Most recently was Despicable Me 2, which has actually performed above and beyond expectations at the box office, and to be honest, is even more well received than the first film, which is quite something for film in general and animation specifically. Despicable Me 2, I'm sure if you've seen it you know what it's about. If not, then you don't want to be spoiled, so that's that. Most surprisingly, My Little Pony Equestria Girls came to theaters in June and July. I had to miss it because I needed to save my money, but from what I hear it was a pretty good film. They handled the characters very well. The story was very well done, and hey, it was on the big screen, and who wants to miss that? It's on DVD now, so if you missed it in theaters, then you could watch it on DVD, and I believe its network premiere is in September sometime, but I could be wrong. So those are the 2 most recent films, and then actually we have Aaron the Wolf 436's review of Balto. He was kind enough to record his interview, what am I saying? His review of Balto, the first film, and this is what he had to say on it.
Hello everybody, this is a Shooterman, and I'm gonna be reviewing Balto. The story is about a wolf dog named Balto, who's an outcast for being part wolf. Plane's gonna take off due to a storm, and the dog was blocking the ice, so they had to use a train to ship the cargo to Nanana. So they have a race to see who's the fastest dog. Balto wins, but isn't allowed because he's part wolf. Since this was based off a true story, he wasn't. So a team was set out and they got the medicine, but then get lost. So Balto goes out to look for them. Okay, this is based on a true story, but not everything is true. Balto wasn't part wolf, he was a Siberian Husky, 100%. They didn't have one team, there was also 20 teams. Respect goes out to the dogs and the mushers who were involved, and rest in peace for the kids who died from the disease. Now, think first, but I want to start with the writing. The writing is a hit or miss for me. It's good, but not the best. kind of gets confusing sometimes, and there's some stuff that, well, some lines that I just don't care for. The voice acting is good. It's sometimes a hit or miss, actually. Everyone did do a good job at it. The voice acting is actually pretty good. Not the best, but it's pretty good. The animation, it is solid. It's pretty good. But there are better animated films out there. Sometimes it kind of looks weird. A little bit sometimes. And there's some mess ups here and there. It's really good. I have seen much better animation, but it's still good. Some of the characters that I like, and some of them I think are just okay, and there's also some that I can't stand. Wow, this is actually a short review, but yeah. So good acting, good animation, good characters, good writing, okay story, but sometimes it's a hit or miss. So in conclusion, the film is a really good movie. I really don't know who to recommend it to people, but for what it is, it's a really good movie. I can only recommend it to some people. So yeah, that's kind of it, really.
And unfortunately, that is pretty much the entire episode of Sourcecast. We have now come to the mailbag, and there's nothing in the mailbag, probably because we've been off the air for so long. But don't worry, we will have new stuff because you are going to send us stuff for the mailbag. At the very least, please send me something saying that you're willing to be a co-host in a future episode. Anyway, you know where the email address is, sourcecast@gmail.com. You can find us on iTunes. You can find us, the easiest way to find us is just on Kane's website, sourcecast.kane.co.uk. And, you know, every time I publish a Sourcecast episode, I write a news about it on Animation Source and publish it site-wide, so you're going to see whenever there's a new episode. So if you don't want to subscribe, that's fine, but we really appreciate it because the more people subscribe to us, the more popular Sourcecast gets, and the more popular it gets, the more people Sourcecast is exposed to. And really, we want Sourcecast to be listenable for everyone, not just people on Animation Source, but realistically, you know, it'll probably just be Animation Source people. But anyway, just send feedback to sourcecast@gmail.com. You got any suggestions? Send it there. You got any things that you hated? Send it there. If you have anything whatsoever that you want to say, even just hi, then send it there, because this is really, really boring. Anyway, if you want to help out with a future episode, contact me. If you have any suggestions for future Sourcecast episodes, send it to the mailbag. And that's pretty much it for this episode. Sorry it was so short, everyone, but hopefully next episode we'll have more people here who can discuss. And I'm really bad at just talking by myself. I think, like, we've done 5 episodes of that. I'm not interested. Anyway, be on the lookout. Sourcecast is not dead yet. This is Skul. Good night, Gracie.